Oh, hello, Emily. How are you doing? Just gonna go to the shops and stuff. So yeah, didn't really stay on very long last night. I got a bit bored. So yeah, I'm alright, I guess. A bit miserable in it. It's not as bad as it was. Well, most of yesterday was. I mean, it seemed like actually alright at first. It was like, oh, looks like it's gonna be alright today. Oh no. Haha, no. Yeah. You can just like suddenly switch up, can't it? Yeah, it's been just kind of like just really dull and damp and just like, yeah. It's not really raining at the moment. There's just this very fine kind of drizzly kind of stuff, but it's just very humid. But yeah. Yeah, just some food really. But I haven't really got anything in at the moment, so I'll just get some stuff. But my legs are almost recovered now, but still not going to train them today. Might do it tomorrow if they've recovered. Either tomorrow or the day after. When you've done like marathon sessions like that, it's just going to like mess them up for like days. So that's just what you got to deal with. I tend to just kind of do less volume and just try and do it more consistently, and just kind of tends to be how I do it. I don't usually do a mega session on a particular body part, because then I just end up being like sore for the next few days. Yeah, it's tough stuff, and it's like, yeah. Anyway, I mean, like, yeah, like from like when I first started, it's like night and day difference. Everything's become bigger. Like when I first started trying to do it all, I was like complete skin and bone. I was like, but at the time I didn't really, I don't know, I wasn't really confident though. I always knew I wasn't like muscular or anything. It was just kind of, yeah. Like I was always like pretty skinny until I tried to actually consciously like, do something about it. But there was points where I got worse because I was just doing more fasting and going more in that direction. I'm alright, thank you, Reaper of Cosmos. Hello, fried chicken. How are you today? Hope you're well. Hit the like button, everybody. So yeah, that's just yeah, that's it. It's just not too bad, thank you. Just walking at the moment. But yeah, if anyone's new here, please subscribe to my channel. Check out my videos and stuff. Trying to just try and get some more videos out soon. Might do one today actually. Not exactly sure what, but yeah, thank you. It's just I've literally gained about probably from like my like old body weight, like from like a few years ago, probably about 20 kilograms. And I've probably actually gained, yeah, probably between 20-25 kilograms of muscle mass, probably something like that. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but somewhere around that ballpark. Well, actually, my mum, this is weird, right? My mum sent me an email this morning and saying, oh, I haven't heard anything from you for a couple of weeks. I'm like, what the fuck? I tried to ring her day, and, and she just like didn't answer. It's like, and I tried on Saturday as well. In fact, on Saturday I tried multiple times. So what the fuck? It's weird. It's just weird. I mean, I don't think it really makes any difference if you're vegan or not, because as long as you're getting enough food and protein and things like that, it doesn't matter. As long as you're feeding the body the right stuff, it doesn't matter what diet it is, generally speaking. As long as you're, you know what you're doing. And I try to focus a lot on like high calorie foods and stuff. So, but yeah, it was strange. It's like saying, oh, like, well, and she was online apparently, because Richard was saying that she was like online 2 hours about it, and it was like, I was saying, something strange going on, like, tried ringing her, so I don't know if it was a phone number or something, but I was using the same number that I used multiple times before, so what the fuck? Is she just trying to gaslight me or something? Like, what the fuck is going on? Just weird. Yeah, at least she's okay, but it's like, what the fuck are you doing? You start getting people a bit worried, Kind of pisses me off when people do that, Like, she could have tried ringing me up or something if, I don't know. Because she was saying, oh, ring up for the weekend, but I'm like, well, she knows maybe I might, if it was the wrong phone number, then it's like she could have just tried to ring me up. But it's like, I don't know, it's just annoying. So I've been trying to ring her up for weeks now, and I've barely even seen her like around and stuff, and I don't know. Well, she was one of the ones that got blocked from the chat, and like I said, I still don't know for certain what that was about, but someone's been messing around. Hello, Falcon. Hey, Falcon, how are you? I hope you're having a wonderful day. Welcome to my live stream. We had a great chat last night on Yogi's live stream. But yeah, we're talking about like vitamin B12. So I've been looking into it a while ago, and I think that like fermented foods might be a good way to do it in some cases, I've heard. That's probably what we would have like. I think because everything's become so sanitary now, we don't naturally get it from like food like we used to, like from like plant-based foods. I mean, they would have probably been like contaminated. Also, soil used to be a lot more rich in B12 as well, but that's become kind of sterile. Yeah, vitamin B12, because a lot of people are going about you can't get B12 from plants. Certain mushrooms are said to have some B12 in them. However, the amounts are not necessarily great, but yeah, it's like most, if not all, like vegans would supplement B12 due to it not being present in like modern diet at least. But it seems like it would have been present a long time ago. Like it was apparently something in well water actually. But basically it's bacteria that produce B12. It's called cobalamin. It's from cobalt, which is like a trace mineral basically. It's like a trace element. I mean, it's like a it's technically, it's a vitamin because it's like, yeah, you know what I mean? 500% of daily intake of it, really? Alright. It's just thinking about, like, say, if someone was a vegan, let's say, and then there was no, like, if we run out of, like, industrial kind of products and stuff, what would you do about B12? would you then start eating animal products, or would you look into other alternatives and stuff? Like, just as like a sort of hypothetical scenario, because you never know what's going to happen. It's just, I don't think it's necessarily good to only rely on industrial kind of ways of getting things. I don't know, because it's all kind of artificial and stuff. So if there's a way to do it naturally, then at least you have that knowledge there if something happened, and then otherwise you would then have to sacrifice your own ethics, I guess, to or you would just, so some people literally get so as far as say, like, for example, if there's no plant-based foods or something like that, they would start eating meat or something. Not that they wouldn't eat meat, so they would starve, which is I don't know, it's just like really extreme vegans where they're like, they would just literally like starve if they couldn't get access to plant-based food or something. Like if it was like a famine and all they could eat is like even things like mollusks, like, you know, like oysters, that sort of stuff, they wouldn't even touch that, a lot of them, even in like a survival situation. Yeah, there's like end up being like cannibalism or something, you know. Yeah, so it becomes quite a, but I mean, yeah, that is an extreme situation, but it's just a hypothetical scenario that could happen. But anyway, you never really know what's going to happen. If all the energy, whatever, like something happens, maybe like an EMP attack or something like that, all the electric goes, then how are you going to produce all of your artificial shit, you know? I mean, yeah, I guess it depends if it's like been fried in like, is it in animal lard? Yeah, how you doing, Falcon? Hope you're doing well today. So it depends really, like some still fry it in animal lard, but apparently they're not really like, it's some places in Yorkshire, like Scarborough, I think some of them, like they do that, and yeah, and a lot of people don't even like the taste of it anymore because they're used to like, you know, like the regular ones, but it used to be always, you know, an animal lard. Anyway, yeah, I hope everyone's well anyway. Just thought I'd come on for a bit while I'm just walking. Got nothing better to do, eh? Philosophy, what do you mean? What's my philosophy? Philosophy on what? I think if we're talking like the whole thing of like to try and cause them, you know, minimal impact in the world. So it comes down to like sort of like but it's like people have their own perspective on that, I guess, but you're not going to be able to like completely stop suffering and harm, but like but all you can do is to try and mitigate it and try and do the best that you can, really make the best choices within reason. Sometimes things are just not practical, so we just have to try and sort of try to just live, you know, sort of, but I guess that's just more of like a morality question really. But with philosophy of life, I think, like, I don't know, it's quite a, you know, quite an ambiguous kind of like, what do we mean? Like, it's quite, talking philosophy on life, I mean, like, it's can we be like specific on things, like what do we mean? Like, hello Richard, how you doing? Good to see you again. How come you come in here with that account and then I see you in the other chat with the other account? But good to see you again anyway. So yeah, I remember the other day it was like, you know, like debates on religion and stuff, and I just personally, I'm not into all that. I think just try and be a good person, and that's the best that you can do really. It's like but anyway, I just going to be getting some food shortly, so get some breakfast and all that. Yeah. Because of YouTube being dumb, it won't let me comment on the other account again. That's weird. Is it like friggin'? I'll have to check, see if see what's going on, because YouTube's actually been basically blocking people from commenting. I don't know if it's YouTube or what, but I think it's something to do with this friggin' guy that I really do not like, and he's been messing around. I don't know, but yeah, there's a thing called shadow banning, and it's shit. That seem to be doing that with a lot of people, and yeah, it's just hello Emily, welcome back. Yeah, but they try and act like it's not happening, but it's like it clearly is. Like they're clearly like messing around. I think they're messing around with like notifications and stuff. So at the time, like anyone even shows up, and I don't know if that's because of just, I don't know. Doesn't seem like they're really pushing it out most of the time. And I'm like, what is going on? I've got all these subscribers, but yet most of my videos are really not getting that great views. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe just people get bored. I don't know. But I find that the view to subscriber ratio is really off. Like it doesn't really make sense. It's like it's all just kind of like, I don't know. It almost seems like if you start talking about certain things, they then put you on a blacklist, it seems. So I've been thinking about what to do to try and get my channel out. I was thinking about I might like resort into friggin' like trying to even, you know, try and promote it in the public or something somehow. I don't know. I was thinking about getting my own advertisements, you know, like made for it. I don't know, but then that's going to be a lot of money to invest in, but then maybe it's worth it, who knows. It's just, what am I supposed to do? Because it's like they seem to be limiting my reach. I'm like, am I really that bad? I don't think so, but you know, maybe I'm not that great, I don't know. But one thing I noticed, I was saying in like Daisy May's live, is that she seemed to get a lot more viewers when she was like filming from the beach. Don't know if any of you have noticed that, but she seemed to do better. She had like about 60 odd, 70 odd people in her live yesterday, and it was like pretty consistent like views and stuff. Whereas another live where she's just in her usual spot, it's like maybe 20 odd. So it's like, is that a coincidence? It seems like she's been getting more and more views when she's doing the beach walks or something, and things like that. Really, 170 likes. That's what I mean. It's like, is there? I don't know. We've got to try and kind of like. So it seems like YouTube only likes the channels that bring them a pay packet. The small-time creators have no competition until they start bringing them revenue. But it's like, how are we supposed to do that though? I don't understand. Like, it's just, it feels like a catch-22, doesn't it? Because people only seem to want to invest in you when you're already kind of popular, because people always seem to be attracted to the popular people. But like, how is it you're supposed to get popular in the first place? I don't know. It's just difficult. It's just who's perverts? Who does? Right, yeah, it's like, yeah, I got these odd like members, but it's just not really probably enough for YouTube to really want to push me out. But so maybe it's just that. But I was thinking that there might be other things. I think mostly it's just like, yeah, like you said, it's like with TikTok as well, and they would only push me out certain times, and because if I'm getting them more money, getting them more, you know, more revenue and all that. So it ultimately comes down to some of the most scumbag kind of people end up actually getting them, you know, more money. So that's why they keep pushing them out until they're forced to like shut them down. Because if there's enough complaints, then they have to. Because then people would just boycott them if they keep on doing it. So it's like it has to get to a point where people really start getting pissed off. And it's not right. And people are allowed to go and dox others and harass others and get away with it. If they've got followers. Hi Roman, how are you doing? Are you well? If you're new here, please subscribe. Yeah, there's just a lot of perverts online, yeah. Well, what's that got to do with, like, in about Daisy May's live or something? Is it because of all the people there or something? You mean, like, they were just like, they like to watch all the people on there or something? It is a bit kind of, have you seen this, guys? Look at that friggin' they put up. It says F Farage, stand up racism. It's probably one of these, like, I guess they're probably some like socialists or whatever, communists. Like they're just a bunch of like, I don't know. They're probably like brainwashed themselves, a lot of them. Oh, you're good, that's good to hear. A lot of them are just like, they don't realise that they're actually brainwashed themselves. They're probably bought into a lot of like the, you know, like all this like identity politics and all this kind of stuff. Oftentimes the ones that talk about racism and all that stuff are racist themselves, and like they have this kind of like internalized kind of sense of like inferiority sort of thing. This whole kind of white guilt bullshit, which I think is just ridiculous. So like, so a lot of these people just end up like you're becoming hypocrites basically. They talk about standing up against racism, but then they have this kind of, you know, like they have this sort of, you know, dim view on like, say, their own race. What are you saying, Roman? Don't know what you mean. So it's, you know, it's what it is. But the thing is, if I'm gonna be like, yeah, if say like going live and while people are, while they're at a beach and then like a bunch of perverts, maybe I shouldn't do that, because it's like, you know, I don't want to be attracting a bunch of perverts to my live. It's not really good, is it, you know? But it's just weird, isn't it? Yeah. So I suppose that kind of makes sense, really, that, yeah, they'll get the perverts watching if, like, yeah. Anyway, hope everyone's well today. Who's still in here then? Oh. Well, I mean, yeah, there'll be a lot of people probably like, because on days in there it'll be like Florida where it's like always hot. So like there'll be like probably a bunch of people out there in bikinis. But anyway, hi John the One. What do you mean me? Depends on the time of year. Yeah, but in Florida it's always pretty much like the same, isn't it? When you're around the tropics, they tend to not really have seasons. It's weird. Whereas where we are, we have quite sort of definitive like seasons. Well, at least we used to, but the seasons have all gotten a bit messed up now. Some say it's climate change or whatever, but maybe it's just, I don't know. Some have theories on it. Geoengineering, chemtrails, whatever, but some say chemtrails don't exist and that they're just what they call persistent contrails. But the thing is that I do believe that there is some kind of, I mean, well, it actually is known about whether modification is a thing. So whether it's it's not necessarily caused by chemtrails. Well, they do seem to at least somewhat modify the weather, but that might not be in the intention of that. Maybe it's just a thing that happens, but I don't know, because I did kind of buy into the whole chemtrail thing, you know, just because I was looking into all like how they would put all these like heavy metals and things in the you know, they're spraying it all out. But I don't know, it's just I try to be skeptical now and not just believe everything that I see on the internet, really, because it's like you just don't know. I remember actually someone, you know, brought me onto it. I remember someone was showing me a bunch of videos on chemtrails and but it is weird how the sky can be blue 1 minute and then half an hour later you got all this crisscrossing going on, eventually turning into basically you know, like a cloudy sky. But I remember there was this guy saying, oh well, it would have just happened anyway, but it doesn't look like that's the case. So whether it's intentional or not, it's like it does seem to be modifying the weather. You know, they're putting out this vapor and into, you know, when they're doing it on that level, it's gonna, you know, it can, you know, when you've got quite a few planes flying around, you would think it at least gonna have some effects, but I don't know. Alright, mystery dude from another universe. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of pollution out there, you know, a lot of factories pumping out toxic air and stuff. But yeah, but it's like, in terms of whether the chemtrails themselves are really that bad, I don't know. I'm saying that, you know, I've seen skies 1 minute blue, 30 minutes later it's like, it's basically just, you know, overcast. So to me, that can't just happen like naturally like that. You see it crisscross. It's like noughts and crosses, you know. Oh right, Trump. Oh really? Okay. I don't know. I don't know about that, but don't think I've heard of him. But I'm just saying, like, you know, with the whole yeah thing of, we just don't really know like what is going on with like everything, but the CIA has admitted to weather modification, and so if they're admitting to it, then it's like, well, what are they actually doing that they're not admitting to, basically, you know? They're only going to admit to so much, right? I mean, tap water, I mean, I just can't really be bothered with all the messing around. I would do it, but it's just, I just can't really be bothered. But, you know, it costs money and it just costs a lot of time to mess around. It's just not really worth it for me. I'd rather just, like, you know, if it's a little bit kind of a bad thing, then I'd rather just, like, you know, take that chance than have to fuck around with all that shit. I don't know. Some places in the UK, the tap water isn't that bad, but it depends. But I don't know, I mean, yeah, I've heard about all the stuff with tap water and all that. It's not great, to say the least, but the thing is, a lot of the people that talk about that, they probably don't have the best diets. Hello, Kayla, how you doing? They probably don't even have some of the great diets. People are obsessed with, like, oh, they're poisoning us and all that, but yet they're eating McDonald's and things like that in a lot of cases. Yeah, water hardness, but it's like, yeah, because you can get all these inorganic minerals in it and stuff, can't you? Yeah, I hope everyone's doing well anyway. I don't think it's not too bad from where you are, is it? It's a bit harder over this side, because it's like, I think east side of the country, I think it's harder or something. Where I used to live, it was quite softer water. I'm doing fine, thank you. How are you doing? If you're new here, please give me a follow. Oh, it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Yeah. But yeah, just I'm just skeptical of everything. I'm skeptical of like mainstream narratives, but I'm also skeptical of the alternative narratives as well. It's like unless I can know something for certain, I'm just kind of like try to just keep an open mind and just kind of but be skeptical at the same time, because I don't want to fall into traps, because I've looked into some crazy conspiracy theories before and then got kind of sucked in and then realized it was all a load of BS. So I'm trying to be careful not to just believe everything. So I'm very skeptical now. I'm very like, yeah. It's just like, of course, it's like, the governments and stuff, they're all corrupt and all that. But it's like, we have to be careful not to just think that everything's all like a conspiracy. It's just, that can be quite dangerous thinking. It's like, for example, people would like reject cancer treatment because they believed that it was all a scam or whatever, and it's like, yeah, they're not necessarily great for your health, but it's like, well, it's better than dying though, isn't it, And a lot of these alternative treatments don't even work, or at least not for everybody. So you're really taking risks when you're doing shit like that, Yeah. I don't know, but it's just, there's a lot of corruption, but it's like I said, I wanted to start like a political movement, but I've come to realize that in order for me to really have any kind of impact, I need to kind of, I guess, like be the example. Let's say like, about being the person, being the change you want to see in the world. That's the kind of motto thing, isn't it? About be the change you want to see in the world. It's in like, if you want to see good in the world, then you have to be that. It's just, the change has to start from within, and you project that outwards, and then people can choose whether they want to join with that or they don't have to. So it's all about trying to do things without trying to force, trying to, I guess, people are going to be more resistant to it if you're trying to push people into a certain thing. So I've got to try and just accept that, and that there's only so much I can do, and try and just focus on my own life. Like I said, I do want to try and get like I'm possibly at some point going to get like a static caravan. So I've got enough money for that, get a bit of land, and just like live in either a static caravan, maybe even a log cabin or something like that. Something along those lines. I'd like to do something like that, and then run it off solar energy and just like, well, at least some of it. But that's something that I want to try and do. Maybe I'll even look into harvesting rainwater or something, I don't know. That might be an option as well. I could try and harvest rainwater and just kind of like, there is ways of filtering it, but yeah. But I've heard, I think, is it Colorado, that it's actually illegal to harvest rainwater. How can it be illegal to harvest rainwater? It's like they own the water. It's like, what the fuck? Is that still the case? Or is that some misinformation again? Anyway. Right, I don't know. Okay, hi Jordan, how you doing? Hope you're doing well today. So I don't know, that's what I want to try and do, is just like, just like I said, because I can do things in my own life, but if people decide that they don't want to do anything about their life, then so be it. But it's just annoying when people are just complaining about shit that they're not even trying to do anything about. They're just in this victim mentality. There seems to be a lot of these type of people, like these victims. It's almost like they're just as bad as the people that they're criticising for being victims. Like they're saying, oh, look at all these, like, you know, this victim culture. But yet, a lot of them people, they'll complain about, you know, oh, the government's trying to suppress blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, but you're just becoming another victim. Because it's all mindset that you have that is keeping you stuck. You just keep perpetuating that. Whatever you put your mind to, you just keep perpetuating that instead of creating abundance. And I know it might sound all cringy and whatever, and you know, but it's like you have to be careful what sort of energy you're putting your mind to. If it's victimhood and blaming everyone else for your problems, then and just complaining, and it's not really gonna end well for you, is it? Not heard of that law, but the states do have some weird laws. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like every state has their own laws. Like some states still have like death penalty, but then some might say that that's a good thing. It's like everyone's got their own opinions on that. Some might say it's not right because there's still a chance that they could be wrongfully convicted. But on the flip side, some say it's wrong that people should have to like pay to house these sort of people, you know, that they become a burden on society, and to try and kind of like keep the society safe from them, that they have a right to be safe without having to, you know, because it's not their fault that there's some cycle in this world. So that's the argument for it. So it's just, and also as like a deterrent to stop others from doing it, but then at the same time, it doesn't really seem to stop. I mean, because the states where, you know, the death penalties are, does that reduce the amount of unalivings? I mean, does it really make that much of a difference? Hello, Supranator, how you doing? Hope you're doing well today. We'll be getting off in a minute, so I'm just coming into the town, or in the city centre, I mean, so we'll be getting off. But there is just some like weird laws, like I don't know, it's like I've heard in some places where you could get put in jail for like years for just having a bit of weed or something. I can't remember if it was Canada where it has that or something, but I mean Canada has different laws as well. Where there's this kind of like, where, for example, in some states where it's like, you know, smoking weed could get you like harsher sentences than say people who are child abusers, for example. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Well, it's what I'm kind of saying in the video like that I made about if we could all unite and come together, that would be better. But it takes responsibility to do that. It seems that that's what it is that people lack responsibility and they want to just point their fingers at others instead of looking at themselves and being like, well, am I actually doing enough to, you know, for myself and my community? Because I feel like, you know, we all have a duty in this world to help each other, because you never know when you might need help. So it could just be giving advice or something like that, or we all have some part to play in this world. Depends on what it is you feel like you have to offer to this world, depending on your experience and all that. Hi, Wonderboy. What do you mean, what am I on with? Are you smoking? Alright, okay, fair enough. So I'm just going, you mean like, what am I doing right now? I'm just gonna go get a bit of shopping. So I'm gonna be getting off here, guys. I will be seeing you all later. So have a great, what's this? Both sides could do is stepping back and taking a deeper look at themselves and, like you say, work together and we'd achieve so much more. Yeah, I actually think we need to decentralize the power and it to be more of like a sort of unified kind of thing of like where we all kind of like a sort of, if you've ever looked into anarcho-syndicalism, something along those lines perhaps. So it wouldn't be like full-blown communism, but it would be like, basically it would be sort of think of things like mutual aid and stuff like that. I think that sort of stuff would be good to have, like more just kind of people, everyone all trying to look out for each other and not be sort of and not, you know, relying on a government to help everybody. I think that sometimes people might be like, oh well, we need that, blah blah blah. Well, it's like, but the government seems to be doing more harm than good. So, but like again, going back to the thing of, I don't want to just try and focus too much on that. We should be, just try and just focus on what we can do. But we can all we can do is try and set an example, show other people the way or a way, because there's not a way for everybody. But so I think that just like we've got to just try and be mindful of not everyone's going to agree with you, and yeah. Okay, thank you, Jordan. Have you subscribed then, or? But just gonna like get off in a sec because my battery's getting pretty low. So yeah. Any more questions before I go? Let's try and get to 10 likes. We're on 9 likes, so appreciate it if you could just hit that like button. Yeah. I don't know. Oh, all right, thank you, 10 likes. Okay, let's go now. Bye-bye.